I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Land acknowledgement. I would like to ask Mr. Duran to lead us in the land acknowledgement.
We acknowledge that our district is on the ancestral land of the Cahuilla people, with whom we have a long-standing partnership. We are grateful for the opportunity to prepare future generations, teaching them to respect and contribute to their community and to continue the stewardship exemplified by the Cahuilla people.
Roll call will reflect that 4 board members except Ms. Porras are present. Cabinet members except Mr. Aquino are present. And item 7.1, would like to invite Dr. May Volmer to administer the oath of office to our student board member.
Excellent. Well, we are very excited to have Ethan Lee here with us this evening. And before we go down to do the oath of office, I'd like to share a little bit about Ethan. He is a senior at Palm Desert High School and has attended Palm Desert Charter Middle School and Palm Desert High School during his time in Desert Sands. He earned recognition as Student of the Year at Palm Desert Charter Middle School and was part of the Battle of the Books championship team. He's also been actively involved with ASB for 4 years, including serving as vice president for 3 years and executive president for 1. Ethan's interests include taekwondo, running, sewing, and engineering, not a bad list. He is certified first-degree black belt and demonstrates very strong academic dedication, maintaining an outstanding academic record. His leadership extends beyond school, where he serves as a youth leader through his church and in campus organizations. He also gives back to his community by volunteering at Eisenhower Medical Center, teaching taekwondo, and supporting youth and adult track meets at Palm Desert High School. He brings a strong commitment to leadership, service, and student representation in his role as a student board member, and we are very excited to have you here with us this evening. Welcome. Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. Congratulations.
On to item 8, approval of minutes. Minutes of the regular meeting of February 3rd, 2026. Is there a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
Move approval.
Second.
Second, Pierce. We're getting organized here.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Okay, board meeting addenda. Dr. May Vollmer.
Yes, we're going to be pulling 2 items this evening that require additional edits, and we will be bringing them back at a future board meeting. Those are items 20.3 and 21.3.
Okay, we're going to go to item 10, approval of the agenda. Apart from those items, 20.3 and 21.3, is there a motion to approve the agenda of the regular meeting of February 17, 2026?
Motion Lee.
Second.
Second, Pierce.
Any discussion? Hearing none, preferential vote. Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Community staff student recognitions. Dr. May Vollmer.
Yes, I'd like to invite our public information officer up to the podium.
Good evening, board members, cabinet, colleagues, and of course, our esteemed guests tonight. I'm very happy once again to be here to help recognize DSUSD excellence, as we like to say. Before we jump in, quick reminder, after you receive your reward, please return to your seat so that we can hear the board's comments about your recognition. And then once that wraps up, we can all meet in the lobby for a quick photo opportunities, which is always fun. Now to the very best part, Dr. Dan Borgen. He is the Director of Personnel and Leadership Development. He's joining us to present our February Employees of the Month.
Thank you, Tamara. Good evening, board, cabinet, friends in the audience. And I know I have at least one friend in the audience, so I can do this. C. C. Thank you, Mr. Harper. All right, it is my honor to present our Employees of the Month for the month of February. As always, I try to make sure that this is a surprise for our guests that are being honored, so wish me luck. Our classified Employee of the Month for the month of February is an office specialist from La Quinta High School, the voice of the Blackhawks, Daniel Leon! All right, here's a story about Daniel Leon. Daniel is, stay here. Daniel is an invaluable asset to the La Quinta High School, serving as the welcoming face for every new family that joins the district's largest campus. As an office specialist in our counseling department, Daniel handles the high-pressure environment of student registrations and crisis walk-ins with a rare blend of peak efficiency and genuine kindness. Beyond his essential office duties, he is a cornerstone of our school culture, volunteering his time as the voice of the Blackhawks for home football games and senior athletic nights. His ability to connect with students both in the office and on the field make him a standout professional who consistently goes above and beyond for the Desert Sands community. Congratulations, Daniel Leon. Our certificated Employee of the Month is a math teacher from John Glenn Middle School, Mindy Cargania. Were you looking behind you to see if there was another Mindy?
Carbonea.
All right, here's a little bit about Mindy. Mindy carries herself with a grace and presence that defy her years in the profession. If not for the record, one would assume she is a master educator with decades of experience. Her devotion to students is tireless and unmistakable. She approaches her work with the heart of a lifelong learner, relentlessly refining her craft and pursuing new ways to ensure her students excel in mathematics and beyond. Yet her impact extends far past the classroom walls. Mindy is a constant source of stability and care, making herself available whenever students are in need. Her classroom is not simply a place of instruction, it is a sanctuary of support. She has navigated some of the most difficult situations with extraordinary composure, compassion, and effectiveness. Where others might feel defeated, Mindy responds with resolve, asking what more she can do to serve her students. That mindset is rare. It defines her character, elevates her profession, and marks her as an exceptional educator whose influence will be felt for years to come. Congratulations, Mindy. And finally, our Management Employee of the Month is an assistant principal from Amelia Earhart Elementary School, Ms. Janae Walker. These are the words from Principal Anthony Abney at Earhart. It is with immense gratitude and pride that I nominate Janae Walker, our assistant principal, for this well-deserved recognition. Janae is the definition of a thought partner, someone who balances a brilliant instructional mind with a heart that beats for the well-being of the entire staff. As the lead admin on our MTSS team, she navigates the complexities of IEPs and 504s with a level of grace and empathy that ensures every child feels supported and every parent feels heard. She leads staff meetings with a perfect blend of competence and charisma, making the work feel like a shared mission rather than a list of tasks. Beyond her formal leadership, Janae is the co-architect of our school's positive culture. Whether she's offering a listening ear to a teacher during a quick chit-chat or providing that much-needed chocolate fix from her office stash, she consistently keeps staff well-being at the forefront of her leadership. She understands that to take care of our students, we must first take care of each other. Janae doesn't just manage her school, she nurtures it, embodying the caring and reflective attributes of our IB learner profile every single day. She is an indispensable leader and a true friend to everyone at Earhart. Congratulations, Janae. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Dr. Borgen. That was an exemplary presentation. And one more round of applause for all of our February Employees of the Month. Congratulations.
I'm going to go ahead and move on to item 12. There's no new introductions, so we'll go on to item 13. Board and superintendent comments. We'll start with our student board member, Mr. Lee.
First off, I would like to thank the Board of Education for allowing me this opportunity to be here tonight, and thank you all for attending the meeting as well. I would love to give an amazing shout out to the wonderful staff that were recognized tonight. Miss Mindy Carbonilla, thank you for making a safe place in your classroom for students. I know that as a student myself, I have always admired teachers who can create such a nurturing environment. It's really amazing to see a teacher that has a passion for teaching and also helping the students on campus. Mr. Daniel Leon, I would like to thank you as well and congratulate you as well for being the voice of LQ and helping students use their voice at LQ. And for the assistant principal, Ms. Janae Walker, thank you again for being such an outstanding faculty member. You truly seem like an amazing leader and role model helping to shape the next generation. So again, a huge congratulations, and I want to thank you all for being true, positive role models for DSUSD students. Thank you.
Boy, every time we have our student board members up here, you give them just say a little bit about everybody you got to start it out, and they just, we're doing something right here at Desert Sands that they are so eloquent and they know what to say. So very nice. So I'm just going to take whatever he said. Congratulations to Daniel, Mindy, Janae. You're much appreciated, and everything you do helps with the culture and climate of your school, and you're very appreciated. Thank you.
And I can echo those exact sentiments. Every time it seems like we have a student board member up here, they do such an eloquent job. We look at ourselves and say, well said, we'll move on. But we do have some magnificent folks that work here for Desert Sands Unified School District, and I think you saw that exemplified this evening with Ms. Janae Walker and also Mindy Carbonilla and Daniel Leon, all of them doing important work that a lot of times goes below the radar that we often see when we approach a school or when we're on a school campus. There are a lot of times the folks that are actually doing, like I always say, laying the groundwork for the things that make everything else look so pretty up on top. So thank you, each and every one of you, for all that you do for us. I really appreciate that. Also, to Student Lee, thank you so much for joining us here this evening. I feel safer. It's been the safest I've felt in a long time. That's an incredible feat, to be able to take and master an event to where you actually acknowledge with something that you wear and to go about the world, because I know that it's so much more than what we see oftentimes where people watch TV and they think, but it's really a mastery of the mind. And I would think, right, correct, and his demeanor exemplifies that as he sits here. You can tell he's calm, he's confident, and he's assured of himself. And I want to just thank him for taking that dedicated extra step in his life to make himself that much of a better human being. So thank you for doing that. Also, too, I just want to add one more thing, that I think it would be remiss to say that today the Reverend Jesse Jackson passed away, and being that February is Black History Month, I thought it would be important to note his accomplishments for civil rights and his long and arduous movement to make sure that everybody had a better chance at what we all call, the American dream, which I do believe still exists to this day. And I too was heartfelt this morning when I woke up to see that on the news. So to all of us, we just take a special moment to realize his accomplishments throughout the life of the Reverend Jesse Jackson. And thank you all for coming here this evening.
I think Palm Desert High School is doing something right, because that was the most eloquent student board member comment I've ever heard. So go teachers at Palm Desert High School. I do also just want to say congratulations to Daniel and Mindy and Janae, and for all of the staff, your colleagues that are here supporting you, and your family members. Thank you, and being excited for them. It makes our board meetings so much more enjoyable. Janae, the one thing he forgot to mention on there is how awesome of a flag football mom you are too, right? Even though our kids were not on the same team. Go flag football. The one thing I did since the last meeting is attend Coffee with Kelly with Miss Porras, who is not here tonight. And I just want to thank everybody for the cake and the singing of Happy Birthday, even though it was very embarrassing. Thank you.
Just to echo the same sentiments as everyone else, congratulations certainly to our employees, Daniel, Mindy, and Janae, just the efforts that they had to go through, and the team that supports them, right? They exemplify what we want at our school site. So thank you for the efforts you're putting forth, and the whole team itself, the school site, the admin, the families that are here. Thank you guys for that. And Mr. Ethan Lee, it is great to see. We have some amazing student board members, not just yourself, sir, but everyone else that comes through. I'm impressed by everyone that we've seen this year. It's been a great bunch of students, and we thank you for taking the time to be here with us this evening. And I had an opportunity to attend Math Family Night, so thank you to Mrs. Knapp for just all the work that took and went into putting that event together. There were a lot of families there participating and taking advantage of the activities. Those are some amazing opportunities that we provide for our families, and to get that engagement with mathematics. So we really appreciate those efforts that are taking place. It's not done by herself, rather her team, but it is worth acknowledging that there is a lot of work that goes into creating something like that. And I got shout out to the catering department, because they had some amazing food. If you haven't been to these events, the food is worth it. Attend. They do put on a meal for you guys. Visited the La Quinta High School. Had a chance to just stop by today and look at the work that's taking place. They take pride in their baseball field. I'll tell you that. They do a lot of extra work to make sure it shines and exemplifies the efforts there. The snack bar, the restroom area, they now have a restroom close by. But it'll be released sometime in the near future, hoping this week or next. But soon enough, you guys will have access to that. had a chance to speak to our Earhart and Glenn administrators, and the instructional focus was certainly there. They were able to articulate things they're working on, so thank you both who are here this evening to lead that challenge with your administrators and your whole team, all 6 of them. What a blessing you guys have. But just thank you for leading that charge. And that's it for me. Kelly?
Thank you very much. Yeah, just really quickly want to say congratulations to Daniel, Mindy, and Janae. Very excited to see all of you being acknowledged this evening for your great work, and really excited to see you surprised. I think you were surprised, and that was really fun for us, right? I know, I love that. So great job to everyone who helped pull that off. I know that's not a feat that Dr. Borgen does on his own, so to all of the staff members that helped arrange that, that really was fun. And then I just thank you, Mr. Duran, for acknowledging really just the great impact of Reverend Jackson's life. So I appreciate you bringing that up.
Item 14, public comment. At this time, we'll stop right there. If you guys want to take this moment to go celebrate with your families and take some pictures, please go ahead and do that at this point. Yeah. Okay, we'll go on to item 14, public comment on open session items in accordance with Board Bylaw 9323. Time is reserved during Board of Education meetings for public comment. Members of the public are invited to address the Board of Education in person during meetings on any item on the agenda or on any matter within the board's subject matter jurisdiction. Each speaker is allowed up to 3 minutes with a total of 20 minutes allotted per item, including non-agenda items. Speakers are not permitted to cede or donate their time to others. The board president, with the concurrence of the board, may extend this time as needed in accordance with Board Bylaw 9323.2 and the Brown Act. The board may not discuss or take action on any item that is not listed on posted agenda. Do we have any public comments? We have one, Trina Gonzalez-Alisi.
Good evening, Board and Cabinet. Trina Gonzalez-Alisi, President of Desert Sands Teachers Association. I know that you are discussing bargaining updates and negotiations for our contract between certificated staff and the district, and I wanted to highlight for you that we would really like to have a speedy process for concluding this bargaining cycle. And when we were in a meeting this morning with Cabinet and Presidents, it was noted that today is the first day after a 3-day weekend, and now we have a stretch of 10 weeks until we get to spring break. It's a long haul. And sometimes morale can get low. And so in order, I think that something that you could do to boost morale would be to ensure that we have a resolution to our negotiations. We would like to see a fair contract. That's it. That's all we'd like to see. And to give you an idea of what our educators go through on a daily basis, especially post-pandemic, because it's a different world in education post-pandemic that even I don't know about because this is my 9th year out of the classroom. But I want to read to you something that someone sent to me that really highlights what educators go through on a daily basis. We don't have a classroom management problem. We have a youth mental health crisis that teachers are being asked to handle. And we keep pretending it's somehow the same thing. Manage your classroom now quietly means de-escalate emotional breakdowns, spot signs of depression, calm panic attacks in real time, absorb trauma disclosures, regulate children who cannot self-regulate, all while teaching 35 plus other students. That is not classroom management. That is frontline crisis response. Teachers were trained to design lessons, to build routines, to create safe, structured spaces for learning. They were not trained to function as therapists, caseworkers, and emergency responders. Yet when the system cracks, we don't fund support, we don't expand services, we don't fix root causes. We tell teachers to manage it better. You cannot classroom manage untreated trauma. You cannot routine your way out of chronic anxiety. You cannot relationship build your way through a national mental health problem. Schools were built to educate. They were never designed to replace the support systems that society failed to provide. Until we acknowledge that difference, teachers will keep carrying weight that was never theirs to carry. When did educators become the backup plan for everything else? So with those words that many of our educators live every day, I would just encourage you to please support us in finishing our contract negotiations. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Item 15, information. The Board of Education has received the information on the following items. 1, disposal of surplus property report per resolution number 30/2024-2025. 2, district design and construction standards updates. 3, Head Start program reports for October through December 2025. Number 4, Palm Desert High School track and field team participation at the Oregon Relays track tournaments in Eugene, Oregon from April 1st through the 5th, 2026. Number 16, item 16.1, Local Control Accountability Plan Mid-Year Report. Dr. Wood.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to invite up to the dais Brooke Triplett, our Local Control and Accountability Plan Coordinator, who will be presenting on the LCAP Mid-Year Review.
Okay, you guys can hear me okay? Okay. Good evening, board members, Ms. Pierce, Mr. Duran, Dr. Watson, and President Mr. Alvarez, as well as cabinet members Ms. Fisher, Dr. Hyde, Dr. Wood, and Superintendent Dr. May Vollmer. And a special welcome and thank you to Ethan Lee, our student ambassador, as well as our community who's here in the audience and anyone who may be watching from home. It's my honor to be here tonight to present the mid-year report for the Local Control and Accountability Plan, which I'll fondly refer to from this point forward as our LCAP. Before I begin, I'd like to note that this presentation is part of the requirement from Section 124E of Assembly Bill 130, which requires an update on the 2025-2026 LCAP and budget overview for parents on or before February 28th, 2026 at a regularly scheduled meeting. A comprehensive report indicating all of the available mid-year outcome data related to metrics, as well as mid-year expenditures and implementation data on all actions identified in the 2025-2026 LCAP were provided in the last Friday letter. What will be presented tonight will be a spotlight of goals 1 through 3 and their respective LCAP metrics and actions of the highest importance and interest. Goals 4 through 6 that specifically support our equity multiplier schools have been included in the full report, but will not be spotlighted during this presentation. I'd also like to take a moment to thank the LCAP Advisory Committee, the Design and Development Team, the Oversight Committee, the African American Parent Advisory Committee, District English Learner Advisory Committee, the Special Education Parent Advisory Committee, and the Joint Parent Advisory Committee, as well as all educational parent, guardian staff, student, and community partners in the development and implementation of the LCAP goals, metrics, and actions. I've had the privilege of attending multiple parent advisory committees, multiple student engagement events, and reviewing feedback from our most recent thought exchange, which consisted of over 1,800 participants and 36,000 thoughts. To start, I'd like to review the impact to the budget overview for parents. As indicated on the table, total local control funding formula, LCFF funds, and LCFF supplemental concentration grants shows that we received in actuality a slightly larger amount than what was originally presented to parents at the time of the adopted LCAP back in June 2025. This slight difference is due to the LCFF funds and supplemental concentration grants being estimated at the time of the adopted budget, since funds are not dispersed until later. This mid-year update indicates the amount that we received as a district. The 2025-2026 budget overview update also shows the slight variation in funds from when the LCAP was adopted at the end of the last school year and what was reported at first interim. Total projected revenue is a compilation of total LCFF funds and all other state, local, and federal funds. LCFF supplemental and concentration grants is a part of the LCFF funds and not added additionally to projected revenue. Also to note, the first interim values were provided since second interim values are currently being calculated and not due to be presented to board until March. Based on preliminary numbers for second interim, the unduplicated pupil percentage will go down, which will result in a decline in funds. This information, however, will be reviewed during the second interim budget adoption in March. As I begin the presentation for the current LCAP goals, metrics, and actions, it is important to note that at this point in the year, we have some LCAP metrics where the outcome is not known due to actions not being implemented or assessments not being done at this point in the year. For others, we have outcomes that are currently in progress, so we are able to provide year-to-date updates that will likely change before the year is over. And then we have a few metrics where the outcome is known and the metric can be reported on fully. As we go through the spotlight metrics and actions, I will share where we are with each metric. Our first LCAP goal is that all students will demonstrate growth as measured by federal, state, and district assessments. Our first spotlight metric is 1.3, California School Dashboard for English Language Arts. Our prior year outcome indicated a 5.2 increase for all students. This is a success for our district and has placed us in the yellow indicator for student achievement in ELA. While the metric is unknown due to CASP testing not happening until April or May 2026, the iReady Winter ELA diagnostic, which closed on February 6, 2026, indicates that 41% of students are currently projected to meet or exceed standards on the ELA CASP. At this point last year, numbers on the winter diagnostic were slightly lower than what current data is showing for this diagnostic, indicating a continued positive trend upward. However, iReady results projection also shows that there are still significant gaps for some of our at-risk groups, specifically for our English learners, ELs, and students with disabilities. Our next spotlight metric is 1.4, California School Dashboard for Mathematics. Our prior year outcome data shows we maintained at 2.2 points from the prior year, putting us in the orange indicator overall for math. This is also considered a success as this is the closest to standard we have been for our all student group since returning from COVID. Again, while this metric is unknown due to CASP testing not taking place until April-May 2026, the iReady Winter Math Diagnostic indicates that 29% of students are currently projected to meet or exceed standards on the math CASP. These numbers are on trend with prior years and indicate that results on the math CASP may be similar to what we have seen. Again, iReady results projection indicates that at the elementary level, there are still significant gaps that require reteaching and intervention for our EL and student with disability. And at the secondary level, EL, student with disability, as well as homeless, foster, and African American groups require reteaching and intervention. Our last spotlight metric for Goal 1 is 1.5, California School Dashboard, English Learner Progress Indicator, also known as the ELPI. This indicator shows how much growth our EL students are making on the LPAC, which is the required state assessment needed in order for our students to reclassify. On the 2025 California Dashboard, our EL students showed 48.5% were making progress, a level that was maintained from the prior year and keeps them in the yellow indicator. This outcome is unknown as students are currently in progress of taking the LPAC and can continue to take it until the end of the school year. Our mid-year progress monitoring, however, indicates that our EL students have grown on the iReady Winter ELA diagnostic, with 11% of our students growing out of being 2 reading levels below to just 1, 1% of our students growing out of being 1 reading level below to on grade level, and 10% of our students growing within the level of at or above grade level. This positive trend indicates that our EL students are making progress in reading, and since reading is one of the domains tested on the LPAC, the success should show a positive impact to that domain.
Ask you to pause just for 1 second. You're doing a great job of summarizing what is a massive document, but I just want us to pause periodically to see if there's any questions.
Yeah, it's up to the school's discretion if they take it before or after the CAP testing, but they'll take it one more time before the school year ends. Okay. Okay. All right, then, our LCAP Goal 1 Actions Spotlight. Our first action, 1-2A, Professional Development, which is currently ongoing as professional learning happens throughout the school year. This action is on track for budget expenditures since most professional development happens earlier in the year, with less happening toward the end as students and staff focus on upcoming testing and year-end activities. Staff has participated in multiple types of training and professional development this year, including strategies for our English learners, content, PLCs, AVID, technology, early lit, and class time for math, just to name a few. 1-5B, Interventions, Reading Diagnostics, and Strategies has focused on foundations of early literacy, which this year has expanded to 5th grade, and continues to support educators with training, classroom walkthroughs, and support from district and site coaches and project facilitators. The original budget for this item has changed due to a determination by district to use the Educator Emergency Block Grant, EEBG, funds prior to using LCAP funds since the EEBG expires at the end of this school year. Therefore, the budget has not and will not be exhausted for this action by the end of the year. To date, there has not been discussion on where to move the money or whether it should be rolled over. Action 1-8A, Site-Based Student Achievement Support, Site Allocations, is on track with the budget. For this action, money is delegated to individual sites and included in the site's SIPSA plan. The actions and services for each site are to be strategically used to support ELA, math, and/or chronic absenteeism, depending on each site's specific needs. This is monitored by the school site councils and English learner advisory committees at the site level, as well as by district leadership evaluating the site SIPSA plans and working with site leaders to ensure alignment between LCAP goals and site goals as presented in the school SIPSAs. Action 1-10B, English learner support, professional development, is slightly over budget due to this action supporting personnel and the costs associated, which ended up being slightly higher than originally budgeted for. This action supports salaries for our project teachers at the district office to support trainings, on-site coaching to ensure differentiated instruction, and support for our English learners and our long-term English learners.
So I understand on 1-5B, you said the allocation of a grant that expires this year was being used, and so we didn't use that other 800,000, but, and you'll reallocate it. It'll probably be reallocated or whatever. But the next line down being 4 million difference, and that's all site-based, a chunk of it goes to each site to do the support for interventions for math and reading and absenteeism.
Correct.
Do we anticipate using that?
Yeah, right at this point in the year.
Did you just say that because I'm trying to?
I know it's hard because it's a lot, and I apologize because it's just a chunk of information. But yeah, right now at this point in the year, for them to be a little over halfway through their money is good. They're on track for using it. So they are using it according to how they've been given the money, and they are using it for targeted ELA, math, or chronic absenteeism.
What kind of expenses are the chronic absenteeism covering? The students' absence or doing Saturday school, or what kind of things?
It depends on the site. So it could be used for personnel to make additional contacts with families or to create student support plans specifically for students who have been absent, to host additional SART meetings for students. It could be used for additional Saturday school, although there is separate money that's being used for Saturday school as well through ELOP for the most part. It could be used to provide additional tutoring or to have kids, different sites use it differently. So I know at one site they're using it to help with transportation, at another site they're using it to come up with student support plans. It's targeted and it's written out as an action item in each one of their SIPSA plans.
Thank you.
110B, is that projected to increase, or is that it for this year?
For 1-10B?
Yeah.
Those are the encumbrances and expenditures. So that
going
should,
forward, is there going to be more money spent there since we're already over, or
that
that's it for
should
this
be
year?
that should be it for the year.
And it doesn't mean it's going to get used, because just because it's encumbered doesn't mean it comes to fruition. So that's also something that we. But do you happen to know the date of that the district is asking sites to be? Don't submit any more recs or do anything by usually March, something?
I can find out for you. I know purchasing usually reaches out, and I'm not sure exactly the exact
There is.
date.
Yeah.
There is a date already
date.
established.
Mid-March. Yeah, it's mid-March.
So,
But that's for purchases, not
so
contracts.
the reason I bring that up is because they don't have another half a year. Sites actually don't have very much left. I would argue less than a month left to use it, because I'm looking at expenditures and encumbrances, and it's only at 5, not even 1 yet, and we still have quite a bit more. So I guess that's on us to put that fire underneath the heat to go, hey, let's get this, let's get the expenditures going, because we don't have that much in actuality, less than a month to get all that spent. So, but thank you. Is there, and I'm glad you gave that reason why on 1.5B, so thank you for, cutting that off by providing that explanation. Are there any other items that you've found that, hey, we have this much allocated, however, we're way down here in the expenditures?
Yeah, there are a few, and I have the full information right here, and also it's in the full report that I gave in the Friday letter. If you scan through in the notes section, it indicates it. In terms of ones where I don't believe that the money is going to be used, that's the biggest one. The rest of them, it appears that most of the money is going to be used almost to its entirety.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Okay, any other questions? No? Okay. Okay, I'm going to move on to our second LCAP goal, which is all students will graduate and be prepared to make a successful transition to further education and/or career opportunities. Our Goal 2 metric spotlights start with metric 2.1, which is California School Dashboard Graduation Rate. Our 2025 California dashboard indicated a 93.7% graduation rate, which is not only excellent, but it is also 5.9% above the state graduation rate. This is definitely worth a celebration for Desert Sands. We are green on the dashboard, and we maintained our graduation rate from the prior year. This metric is unknown since graduation will not take place until later in the school year. However, our mid-year update indicates that locally calculated data puts us at 92.8% of our students on track for graduation. This is based on total credits at the end of semester 1 for the 2026 graduation cohort. The next spotlight metric is 2.5, UC CSU A through G entrance requirements completion rate. Our prior year outcome data indicated that 61.4% of students met the UC CSU requirement. This metric is currently unknown at this point, but in tracking our students' A through G completion rate, our local calculated data indicates that 21.6% of students are on track to meet this requirement. Based on data at the end of semester 1, this number is expected. It's lower as students during semester 2 will not only be making up credits, but they'll also be finishing multiple classes that are necessary for A through G requirement count. Our last spotlight metric is 2.14, California Dashboard for College and Career Indicator, otherwise known as the CCI. Our 2025 data indicated that 56.4% of students were prepared, which was an increase of 4.5% from the prior year and a success for Desert Sands. This put us in the green indicator. This indicator is also currently unknown. Measuring CCI is more complicated since it requires the marrying of multiple different types of courses or programs to show a prepared status. But in reviewing the number of students who are on track for A through G, the number of AP, IB courses offered, and the total number of CTE participants, we can get an indication that students have access to multiple options. Additionally, dual enrollment and apprenticeship programs are currently being discussed to further increase CCI as we continue to move forward.
I have a question about metric 2.5. I was wondering, you mentioned how there's an increase in semester 2 credits. What percentage should we expect it to see an increase in compared to previous years?
I'd have to go back and look at all of the data. The cutoff point when we were looking at this originally was based on classes that had been completed and credits that had already been obtained by the end of semester 1. So I would need to go back, and I can put it in a Friday letter, I would need to go back and look to see how many students are close within their cutoff point and look to see what they're actually enrolled in.
He was asking too how it related to past years too. He wanted to know what percentage are you expecting to see in this one plus the last couple of years?
Okay.
So do we expect to do better than the last couple years or about the same?
So I'll have to go back and look at what the data actually shows, because off the top of my head, I'm not sure. Any other question? Okay. All right, moving over into our Goal 2 action spotlight. Our first action is 2-1E, Course Access Advanced Programs Enrichment. This action ensures funding for enrichment opportunities for our elementary and middle school students, such as the Spelling Bee, Math Field Day, Battle of the Books, and various music costs. The budget is on track at this point in the year. District Spelling Bee took place on January 21st, where a total of 21 schools participated, resulting in a winner who will be representing Desert Sands at the Riverside County Spelling Bee held in March. And the Science Fair was recently held on January 23rd, where 82 students submitted 79 different projects to be judged. Of the projects submitted, 25 projects, 22 from elementary, 2 from middle, and 1 from high school, qualified to compete in the Riverside County Science and Engineering Fair on February 27th. Math Field Day will be held on February 21st for elementary school and May 2nd for middle school, and Battle of the Books will take place for all grade levels in March. Our second action spotlight is 2-3F, Career Technical Education Pathways. This action supports the ongoing CTE programs at all high schools and 3 of the middle schools. The budget is on track for this point in the year. The CTE programs at the high schools currently include approximately 2,350 students, with 606 students currently in a capstone class to complete their CTE pathway. Middle school students at Jefferson Middle School, Colonel Mitchell Page Middle School, and Indio Middle School all have aligned CTE pathways beginning in middle school that feed into their respective high schools. Action 2-4C, College Going Culture, Broad Course of Study, Professional Development, or PD, for counselors is another spotlight. Ongoing training through RCOE continues in order to promote A through G course completion, grade validation, and CTE pathway fulfillment. The budget expenditures and encumbrances are lower than initially budgeted due to the A through G learning loss grant funds being used first. The A through G learning loss grant expires on June 30th, 2026, so prior to LCAP funds being utilized, the grant was exhausted first in order to ensure those funds were spent. Additionally, the final contract from RCOE has not been paid out yet, but it is expected to be paid by the end of the fiscal year. At this time, it is expected that most of the funds budgeted for this action will be used once the RCOE contracts are paid out. The last action spotlight is 2-4D, College Going Culture, Broad Course of Study, AVID Training. The AVID district team has hosted trainings and workshops for site teams, elective teachers, AVID tutors, designated ELD Explore, Excel, and Emerge curriculum, AVID for CTE educators, as well as supporting with AVID Elementary Foundations and AVID Mathematics Discourse. The budget is on track for this point in the year with partial professional development completed and continuing ongoing professional development taking place throughout the remainder of the school year. Good. Our last LCAP goal to be discussed this evening is Goal 3, which is that all students will develop and consistently demonstrate responsible, respectful, and ethical behavior in a safe, clean, and orderly learning environment. To start our Goal 3 metric spotlight is metric 3.3, California School Dashboard Suspension Rate. Our prior year outcome indicated a placement of green on the dashboard with 3.4% suspended at least one day, which was a decline of 0.4% from the prior year. This percentage is the lowest the district's suspension rate has been for all students since even prior to COVID. This percentage indicates that initiatives in MTSS and PBIS are having a positive impact on school culture and climate at the school sites. The outcome is currently unknown, but current year-to-date locally calculated data indicate that as of the end of semester 1, the suspension rate is currently at 1.3%. While this percentage is expected to tick up as the year ends, the current data indicates that the positive trend for lower suspension rates is on track. For metric 3.5, California School Dashboard Chronic Absenteeism, the absentee rate for 2025 dashboard data declined, which is a good thing. We want absences to go down, not up, by 2%. This mark put us at 27.1% chronically absent and in the orange indicator on the dashboard. Locally calculated data indicates at the end of semester 1, the chronic absenteeism rate was 21.6%. While the outcome is still unknown, the year-to-date locally calculated data indicates that we are on track to maintain or improve chronic absenteeism for the year if we stay on this trajectory. Metrics 3.6, which is sense of belonging and school connectedness, and 3.7, which is school safety, are both in progress, with data for 2026 becoming available as soon as the window for the Panorama survey closes on February 20th. Prior year outcome data for both school connectedness and sense of safety show a very slight decline over the last 2 years for elementary schools, with a slight increase in both indicators for secondary schools. Continued work surrounding MTSS, PBIS, conditions for learning, and academic interventions for our students will be discussed with all educational partners once the final Panorama data has been collected. Are there any questions? Our LCAP Goal 3 Action Spotlight starts with Action 3-1C, Improve School Attendance, Site Attendance Lead. This action was updated for the 2025-2026 school year to remove the additional extra duty funding being paid for each SAL and to instead hire one attendance project facilitator to help oversee and align all systems across all school sites and support the existing models at the schools. This change took place at the beginning of this school year and was made to help ensure that all sites had appropriate support and that the systems were aligned. The material difference currently in this action is due to the time of hiring the new project facilitator and being paid to date through December only. The cost to maintain this position and the efforts of the project facilitator will continue, and the budget will align to support that as the year progresses. Action 3-3A, Counseling Support and Behavioral Health Student Assistant Program, also known as SAP, are on track budget-wise, and the continued services they are providing to sites to counsel and support students and families will continue through the end of the school year. This action specifically pays the salaries for 4 counselors and 1 foster youth homeless liaison. As of December 31st, this group of counselors has provided over 330 crisis support interventions for students, has counseled 89 at-risk families, participated in 3 school interventions using the Prepare model, and has hosted a variety of parent workshops, including Mindful Parent, Loving Solutions, Parent Project, and Strengthening Families. Additionally, these counselors support the school site counselors through the suicide prevention gathering tool on an as-needed basis, and they also support site counselor meetings during professional development. Action 3-3B, Counseling Support and Behavioral Health Counselors, pays the salary for the additional school counselors so that all elementary schools have at least 1 counselor on site at all times, and middle and high schools have a ratio of 400-to-1 maintained at all sites across the district. This extra support allows counselors to be available to students for academic and social emotional needs. The budget expenditures and encumbrances are on track as budgeted for this point in the year. Lastly, a spotlight on Action 3-5C, Positive and Safe Environment Law Enforcement. This action pays for the contract between the district and local law enforcement. The current priority of the district and the board to ensure school safety is carried out partially through this action so that school resource officers are committed to school sites within the district. The material difference between what was budgeted and what has been spent and encumbered in this action today is due to the contract still pending invoices and not being paid as of December 31st, 2025. All funds budgeted are expected to be used by the end of the fiscal year. Attendance or safety? Oh, 3-1C. So there are, through the LCAP, there are also office technicians / attendance clerks that are paid. They do a tracking system. Child Welfare and Attendance has worked with each site to develop their own plan, but they do a tracking system where they are paying attention to who is chronically absent and trying to re-engage them. I do know that Child Welfare and Attendance is also specifically trying to capture the students we consider kind of on the cusp of becoming chronically absent so that they don't tip over that point. They're easier to hopefully bring up so that they don't count against us in chronic absenteeism. The project facilitator for attendance that was hired, that's specifically what her job is to try and track those kids and then work with school sites to re-engage those students and families. So
And so the attendance facilitator that Brooke was referring to, she and Kathy Wirtz, our coordinator, CWA, are in the process of making visits to every school site, going over their data, coming together, setting up their plans for each school site to motivate. Some sites have, you were talking about awards and different type things to help encourage attendance, working with both the student and the family. So there's different activities. We can put in a Friday letter kind of an update on the different activities each school is doing. I know our educational foundation has partnered with some of the schools as far as providing incentives. We also have, as Brooke was talking about, the students that are kind of on that cusp. Our family engagement specialists, which is also funded through here, work with those families that really, there's so many issues around attendance. And so they actually are out at the homes, working with the families, addressing whether it's home, food challenges, whatever it may be, transportation, and working with those families. But we can do some updates in the Friday letter. Okay.
Or could you add, what are the, you just mentioned part of it, but can you give the board a picture of what does site level support as it relates to attendance and absenteeism look like? What positions are at the sites?
Well, we have the attendance office specialist that does both attendance and health, and they work with actually recording, actually doing the attendance at the school. But it's important that we have appropriate and correct attendance because that helps us across the board knowing that. We have the attendance facilitator that is actually working with the school sites to come up with those activities. The AP, the assistant principal, that's part of their responsibility is attendance. And then, of course, the principal. The teachers across the board, that's where the families and the students relate to the very most. And so that's where we're helping classroom competitions. We're looking at, competitions with classrooms within a school site and further looking at between schools, just to try to get how important the attendance is, not only for the students wanting them to come to school, but the parents to understand how easily they can end up in a chronic absenteeism type situation. So there's all different types of motivating factors. It's only 18. And so okay.
Follow up.
Sure.
So at the school site, they have a person just dealing with attendance. They have an attendance clerk.
Clerk that keeps track of the attendance, making sure teachers are turning them in on time, follow-up calls if needed with parents. That's more of a clerical piece. And then we have the other.
For example.
Yes. And Kathy is training with, provides additional training through CWA for them.
Collaboration with their AP and the admin, that's who starts the
Correct. Right. And so when Kathy and the attendance facilitator go out to the sites and have those meetings with each site to go over all their data, they encourage the principal and AP to bring in everybody that works on attendance, that they can to this meeting so they can see where their data is, see what types of goals they need for attendance, and recommends and suggests different activities for their school site. Right. Right.
I was just wondering, have we seen much of that during this winter time affect our attendance as far as the illnesses?
Not that it's come to my attention that it's gone to that level. Usually if it gets to that point, then we'll start recognizing it and Kathy will start running reports. Or if the nurses have seen an uptick in the flu, that type of thing, we will see it. We still get COVID reports, but people are supposed to, but they're not really reporting it as much anymore. We do, kind of going back to what you were talking about, we do the little nudge letters still with parents, just reminding them your child has 8, or you're getting close to that chronic absenteeism. Mm-hmm.
Oh, go ahead. You done? Okay. I remember 3 years ago I had a senior in the high school, and I used to get used to miss a lot. He used to miss a little bit more than he should have. But I would get like a text, I believe, right?
Yes.
Are we still doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay, because I always think that that's a better form of communication than an email. So I was wondering if that was still.
Yes.
And is there a way anymore? I mean, I think it was one-sided when I was getting them. I'm not sure. Do they communicate back, like saying maybe why they're sick, or like saying, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know"? Is it a two-way street kind of communication?
It is a two-way street, and
Okay.
that's where those attendance clerks receive
Right.
those calls, and so they can code it accordingly. Sometimes, yes, the parents don't know the child's not at
Right,
school.
no, that's- yeah.
Sometimes it's a surprise.
Yeah,
Yes.
I hear you. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that was
Yes.
that was still in play, and
Mhm.
because I think it was when I was doing it, and I wanted to make sure. Thanks.
I have a question regarding that. Is it standard across all of our schools when that notification happens? Does it happen during the school day? I know that my kids, if they're missing within like an hour, the elementary school is calling, but I've heard that high schools are not notifying parents until after school that the kid was absent.
Go ahead.
Yes, you did hear correctly. So it is inconsistent. We actually been working on this in extended cabinet. And so we're working in particularly with our secondary schools And we will be moving to a uniform procedure across the district where our secondary schools will get 2 calls during the day, 1 midday, so if a student missed any portion of the first part of the day, and then 1 at the end of the day, which would capture that latter half of the day. But we had some internal things we had to get into place first, moving to put that into place in March. Yeah.
Right.
I have one question about the attendance issues. With the 10-week period coming up with no breaks for students, is there expected to see any extra absences during this time due to like burnout or any other issues?
Sometimes we do. We keep calendars that the principals get each month that shows their attendance rate. It's kind of like a stoplight. It's green, yellow, and red. We always want green. But you can see, you're quite right. You can see those times where students get a little fatigued, as parents do, and you'll see some absences within there. We usually see them more before and after holidays. But yes, this time during the 10-week period where there are no breaks, then it can dip. That's why we try to have and encourage the school sites to have some motivation things to keep the students engaged and coming to school.
What Dr. Kelly Mae Vollmer said too was that if the goal could be in the future, and we see so much technology all the time, right? And so we could assess patterns maybe, where you could see the ebb and flow and where it's coming. I mean, just as a goal down the line, I'd really be interested in something like that. Just as a, how you see that with the best time to go to a restaurant, you see it's busy, and then, those little surges. I don't know, that's what I do, right? Okay.
Well,
but that kind of thing, when are they there at 8 a.m., or are they not there at 9? I remember when I used to get mine, it was always, here was the funny, because you'd always get one, and it would say, I won't say his name, but, he has missed first, third, and fourth period. Now I know some of that was because he got there late, and probably roll had already been taken. But then, and I understand it too, because honestly, I know the class, they are swamped, they are teaching. For them to go back and make a correction is absolutely, I'm on everybody's side, but that's where you say, I do it once and that's it. I get it. You know what I mean? And to go back and make corrections, you have to, it's like they say in swimming, you kind of got to time it with your breathing. It's not going to happen, right? And so at the end of the day, but it's to get some kind of ebb and flow to where we know if somebody is or isn't there, then we know the patterns of when they've.
Right. Well, Kathy is our data queen, and she does do the trends and ebbs and flows with that calendar. And by each school site. So the school site gets those too, but we could include some of the trends that we see.
Because we know that's always been the basis of why certain days we take as holidays, otherwise, because we end up with a 35% absent rate that day or something.
And we do have people at the school sites that run reports every day, so that teachers do reconcile that, because we get audited on that. So they do go back and make those changes.
Good. No, I hear you too, but I also say I understand their side of the coin. Sometimes, we have a sub in the classroom. Sometimes we have just all kinds of fire drill. It's like, it's just something is happening, right?
Right, which is another big job, as Kelly was saying, about with the attendance. So they'll go back and reconcile and go to the teacher and get the information that we need.
No, it's perfect. Yeah, and then you got the sports kids that are leaving too all the time. We would get those notifications. I get it. Thank you, though. Wonderful job. Thank you.
Sorry, just one more comment. This is regarding action title 3-3B. This is just more of a comment rather than a question, but I would personally like to just show my appreciation for such a high budget for counselors and on-site counseling for schools. Recently, within first semester, Palm Desert High School and both LQ experienced huge loss within the communities. And from my own experience, Palm Desert was very nurturing, and I know we had some members from the district up here as well, and I am just very appreciative of the support that the counselors had provided during that time.
Thank you. Well, without further ado, I would like to acknowledge and sincerely thank the hard work and dedication of our board, our DSUSD staff and educators, as well as the support we receive from our parents and guardians and community members. I also would really like to thank our students. I'm sure that they're all actively engaged and listening from home tonight, but they continue to be resilient, especially post-COVID. They continue to be passionate, and they continue to strive for excellence. And so we all know why we do the work that we do, especially for LCAP. So thank you. to everybody, and thank you especially for the opportunity to present tonight. And I think we've covered all questions, but just in case.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Triplett. Great presentation. Thank you. Okay.
I enjoyed my time in this second LCAP committee, whatever. We did several really engaging activities that make you dig in and look at it and really start to get some answers and think about some changes within it. So I would appreciate the way you facilitated that.
Thank you. I
last
appreciate
month or so.
Thank you. Thanks.
Item 17, public hearing, no items. Item 18, general functions, business services, no items. Item 19, general functions, educational services. There are 12 items. Is there a motion to take these as a group or individually?
Move approval, take as a group. Duran.
Thank you. Second?
Second, Watson.
Copy that. Hearing any discussion on any items from anybody? No, thank you. Hearing none, preferential vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Item 20, general functions. Since 20.3 has been pulled, there are 5 items. Is there a motion to take these as a group or individually?
I make a motion for 20.1 and 2 and 4, 5, and 6.
As a group, thank you.
Second and Pierce.
Second, Pierce. Got it. So any discussion at all for anybody? No? Got it. Yes, thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. I want to just make sure that correct that one. So that was on Ed's. So we did personnel. So the student board member will not be cast preferential.
I'll make a motion
to abstain.
to take
Thank you.
20.1 and 20.2, 20.4 to 20.6 as a group.
Got it. Thank you. And Pierce was the second. Okay. Got it. No worries. That was my fault. Thank you. So our board member would be abstaining from this. So all those in favor say aye.
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 Okay. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries.
Count on the motion.
4.
4-0.
Yeah.
But I heard him say abstain. I thought somebody,
No, student board.
Okay.
Yeah. I said that he will be abstaining. Thank you. Item 21, general functions, student support services. Since we pulled 21.3, there are 4 items. Is there a motion to take those 4 as a group or individually?
I, Lee, make a motion for 21.1, 2, 4, and 5.
Got it. Second?
Second, Duran.
Thank you, sir. Any discussion? Hearing none, preferential vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Item 22, general functions superintendent. There are 4 items. Is there a motion to take them as a group or individually?
Motion to take 22.1 to 4 as a group.
Second.
Duran.
Any discussion on the item? Hearing none, preferential vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Student matters, item 23, consent items, student matters, Dr. Mae Vollmer.
Yes, tonight in closed session, the board took action on student expulsion case 25/26-19 on a motion made by trustee Dr. Watson, seconded by trustee Duran. The motion carried 3-1 with the board accepting the recommendation of the stipulated expulsion order. Also tonight, in closed session, stipulated expulsion case 25/26-20 on a motion made by trustee Dr. Watson, seconded by trustee Duran. The motion carried 4-0 with the board accepting the recommendation of the stipulated expulsion order.
Item 24, consent items, business services. There are 7 items. Is there a motion to take these as a group or individually?
Lee, make a motion to take these as a group.
Second? Got it. Any discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to just call out the cash donations if we can. I'm going to say these are, when they're all Palm Desert High School except when I say otherwise, but it's really nice to see that the community is always thinking of our schools and our students. David Inc., the Yearbook Club for $75. Ernie Ball Music Man, the Yearbook Club for $450. Ironman Foundation to the Health Academy at Palm Desert High for $1,150. Another Ironman Foundation to Palm Desert High School's National Honor Society Club for $300. We have Ivan's Blinds and More to Palm Desert High School's Yearbook Club for $75. Jorge Garcia Design Associates to the Yearbook Club at Palm Desert for $75. We have Troy Kudlek from Kud Properties, Inc., Palm Desert High for the Yearbook Club, $140. We have Landmark Golf Limited Partnership, also to Palm Desert Yearbook Club for $250. Dr. John Lee, Palm Desert High School, class of 2028 for $500. Daniel J. Porras, Palm Desert High School Yearbook Club, $140. The Red Barn, Palm Desert High School, class of 2028 for $1,000. Mario Reese from Dragons Exterminators for the Palm Desert High School Yearbook Club for $75. And Claudia Alejandra Sainz for Palm Desert High School's Yearbook Club for $140. Southwest Church, Palm Desert Middle School, okay, for the Christian Club for $300. And Joel Villalobos to Desert Ridge Academy for the band program for $100. And we had, I made that connection, kind of. And then we had Desert Sands Educational Foundation to La Quinta High School Mock Trial Club for $5,255. And again, we have a special, I guess, call out there to Dr. John Lee, which is our guest this evening. Not him, but his father. Yes, his father. Thank you so much. And we'd like to just, on behalf, I know, of the board, the cabinet, students in our community here at Desert Sands Unified School District, thank each and every one of our cash donators here to our school. Without their support, we could not be the brilliant, shining star that I think that we are every day. Thank you. Thank you.
Preferential vote? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Item 25, consent items, educational services. There are 12 items. Is there a motion to take these as a group or individually?
I make a motion to take them as a group.
Thank you. Second?
Yeah, second.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, preferential vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Item 26, consent items, personnel services, no items. We have item 27, consent items, student support services. There are 2 items. Is there a motion to take these as a group or individually?
Lee, make a motion to take them as a group.
Second that, Duran.
Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, preferential vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Item 28, consent items, superintendent, none. Going to personnel action. Item 29, personnel action certificated. Dr. Hyde, do we have any retirement, sir?
Yes, sir. I'm excited to announce three retirements in our certificated employee group. First off being Kevin Call, who's retiring after 9 years of service at John Glenn Middle School. Alex Londos is retiring from Franklin Elementary School after 30 years of service. And last but certainly not least is Bertino Osil Macavinta, who's retiring from Palm Desert High School after 26 years of service. These 3 employees have combined for 65 years of service and dedication to our students and our families. So let's congratulate all of them and wish them good luck in the next phase in their lives.
Our student board member will be abstaining due to the nature of the item. Is there a motion?
So moved, Duran.
Second, Pierce.
All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Item 30, personnel actions classified. Dr. Hyde, any retirements?
No retirements to announce.
Thank you, sir. Due to the nature of the item, our student board member will be casting an abstention vote. Can I have a motion?
Second, Pierce.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Item 31, call out of closed session items. Mayor Vollmer, Dr. Mayor Vollmer.
Yes, tonight in closed session, the board took action to approve the request to postpone, thank you, hearing on student case number 24/25-13 on a motion made by trustee Dr. Watson and seconded by trustee Duran. The motion carried 3-0 with the board accepting the recommendation of the postponement.
Item 32, suggestions for future agenda items that receive at least 3 votes. Student Lee.
One of my ideas was that we have the new DSUSD CT Ambassador program that started up earlier this school year. I was wondering if we could get just detailing on how well they're doing. I know they've had a lot of events recently going to middle schools, elementary schools, high schools as well. So I'm curious on how much engagement that has built, especially because it'll tie into more of the setting students up for successful careers outside of college, outside high school, sorry. And then I was also wondering about if we could check more on SAT prep now that colleges are slowly trying to add that back into their requirements for applications. So.
Hence, he's here. I would like to have a presentation on our short-term independent study, what we offer, who's in charge of it at the school site, who's actually running it, just the full presentation.
Want that in a Friday letter or a presentation at a board meeting?
You know what, I'll start off with the Friday letter, please. Item 33, announcements. The next regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Education will be March 3rd, 2026 in the District Education Boardroom, 47-950 Dune Palms Road, La Quinta, California. Item 34, reconvene to closed session. Not doing that. Item 35, adjournment. This meeting is adjourned at 8:25. Thank you. Yes.